So many have noticed that there's a kind of a yin-yang between left and right, and I wrote about this in the happiness hypothesis, that the right is trying to maintain structure and order, the left is trying to change it. And you don't want a car with only a gas pedal, you don't want a car with only a brake. And that's sort of what I went into The Righteous Mind thinking, left, right, left, right. But by the time I was done with the book, I'd been reading and meeting some libertarians who at the time were seen to be on the right because that was part of the Reagan coalition. But psychologically, they're really different from conservatives. They're not conservative at all. And I have a paper with Ravi Iyer where we have the biggest paper ever done on libertarian psychology. If you're listening to this podcast or this recording, go to yourmorals.org. You can take our surveys. 1 million people or so have done so.
And what is that again? I'm sorry.
Yourmorals.org.
Okay.
And so what we found, we published a lot of papers from this research. What we found is that libertarians really value liberty, and they're lower on care. They don't care about their friends as much as liberals and conservatives. They are low on loyalty. They're low on sanctity. They're very rational. They are the smartest people out there. They really are extremely intelligent. And there's a lot of psychological terms for this. They're high on systemizing, low on empathizing. And we found that people with Asperger's or autism are much more libertarian, and libertarians are a little bit more Asperger's autism. So they're different psychologically, and I think they play an incredibly valuable role because left-right is locked in this stupid fight over all these basic things, and both end up creating systems that are subject to decay and inefficiency and a loss of dynamism. And the libertarians come along, and so I read Reason magazine. I'm not a libertarian myself, but I love reading libertarians. I know a lot in New York. I like them a lot because they're always like, look what happens, especially if you let the left get control of something. They're going to regulate, do this, that, and before you know it, the thing is just dead. And that's kind of Europe. Europe is there's no dynamism. I think 0 of the top 100 companies are European, or that can't be true, but it was some amazing stat like that. So I think if you have a creative tension between progressives, not the far left of today, which is identitarian, but between the traditional liberals pushing for rights and equality, and you have conservatives saying we need to preserve structure and order, and we don't want chaos, we don't want crime. And then libertarians saying we need freedom and dynamism. The libertarians are really great on dynamism. If you keep those three in mind, I think you get a good society.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing elements of all three coming together under the Free Speech Alliance stuff. Is for some reason people can agree on the First Amendment, that we can religious freedom and free speech and free association, and that's foundational to truth seeking. That seems to bring some people together, and that's really fun.